There isn't just one correct way to read aloud to your child. I think that the most important thing, the most essential ingredient, is our motivation for doing so, which ideally should be to connect with them and to enjoy a good book together. The tools that will develop in your child's invisible toolbox, when those things are there, will come about naturally. They are byproducts of this lovely experience of connecting with our children over books. Having said that, I do think there are some tips that we can pick up to make the reading experience enjoyable for both parent and child. So today we're going to take another look at André and his mom, who we met in Dear Parents Part 3. You may recall that they're reading a book called Bear's Scare together. This is by Jacob Grant, and it's a book that was written for ages 3 to 6. Now, André, as you may recall, is only 7 months old, but because he's been read to from birth, he has already learned basically how to be a listener and how to even engage in the story. So let's have a look at some of the things that we can learn from their experience. There are 3 qualities that I see here in the way that André's mom, Michelle, is reading to him. The first one is the way that she uses her voice. The second one is the way that she is responsive to him. And the third one is the way that she proactively supports his understanding of the story. As we watch this clip together, pay attention to André's mom and how she uses her voice. You'll see that she is extremely expressive. She does the voices of the characters. Her voice is communicating what the story's all about, which tells us that she's engaged in the story. She understands it because it shows in her expression. What this means for André is that it will draw him in to be engaged as well. And the way that she's using her voice is going to help him understand what the story's about.
Bear tried to keep calm, but the more he searched, the more messy webs he found. "Ursa, we have a spider problem," said Bear. "I am sure the spider is covering our home with more sticky webs. I am sure the spider is making a giant mess with its many legs. Look, he's knitting and he's painting. He's a clever spider." "I am certainly sure the spider is nothing like us," said Bear. "Ursa, we must find this messy guest."
The next thing you'll notice is her responsiveness to André. She is the reader, but she is allowing him to sort of set the pace for the story. This is sort of an interplay between the two of them, because as he listens to her read and her voice pauses, he knows that this is his cue to turn the page. You'll notice too that if his interest stops and lingers over a picture or a page, she doesn't rush the story along. So her responsiveness to him is a very important part of what's happening between the two of them too.
Bear and Ursa searched high and low. They searched inside and out, but they did not find any spiders. "The spider's extra sneaky, but it cannot hide from us," said Bear. He sprang up to continue the search when something terrible happened.
So as we can see through the use of her voice and her ability to be responsive and present to André, she draws him in and engages him with the story. Finally, in this last clip, we're going to see how she is proactive about helping him understand what's going on. When they get to a place in the story where there are no words, just pictures, you'll see that Michelle will pause, point to the pictures, and explain what's happening.
"Look, that's Ursa. And Ursa got stuck under the couch." Bear lay there for some time. "My poor friend, I sure never meant to make such a mess." "Look, the spider's watching." "Oh, okay, we'll turn the page." Once again, Bear searched high and low. He searched inside and out. He had to find a way to help his friend. When Bear returned, he could not believe what he saw. His dear Ursa was good as new. Yes, Ursa, good as new from the spider.
These elements of a great read aloud, the use of our expressive voice, the ability to be present to and responsive to our child and encourage them to be active participants in the story, and our proactivity in helping them understand the story. All of these things may seem obvious and incredibly simple, but they are powerful. And when we develop this habit every day, we are creating something really wonderful for our child. We're connecting with them, and we are building those tools in their invisible toolbox that will make a lifelong impact. In future episodes, we'll talk strategies for how to engage your child in reading if you weren't able to start from the very beginning. Or perhaps you've got an active child who just won't sit still and listen to a story. There are ways to get around that and ways to engage a child who doesn't seem to be interested. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode.